Hey guys, so today I want to talk about embracing your inner child. So, when we become adults, when we get into like the real world and we start working and we have a lot of other major responsibilities in our lives, such as, paying off the bills, paying our, mortgage, or getting married and having children and all these things like that. We tend to, life gets a little more serious, right? We're focusing on certain goals and, career goals, relationship goals, a lot of like things that, even our health goals too, because as we get older, our health deteriorates. So we're focused on trying to be healthy, eating the right types of food, stuff like that. But I feel that what gets taken away from us when we get older with all these responsibilities is our inner child. Then let me explain. So, when we were kids, right? Like, we had no responsibilities, right? Like, we could, we woke up and our job was to just have fun, Like, I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to school, just play around. When school finished, like my entire street, all the kids, like I knew everyone on my street. We all used to have our bicycles and we used to ride bikes, and we used to play Pokemon cards. We used to play the Game Boy, Nintendo DS, Beyblades, if you remember that, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There was just a lot of really, really, really fun times and living in the moment and not taking life so seriously compared to how we take life seriously now, right? A lot of us do. But, as I said, like when we get older, that inner childhood gets taken away from us. We don't have time anymore to do the things that we enjoyed when we were kids, right? And a lot of the times we grow out of those things. We just become mature and we grow out of those things. But then there are still, even to this day, there are some things that when you reminisce and when you think about the things that you used to do when you were a kid, you used to really enjoy them. And then you say to yourself, oh wow, if I had time to do this now, that would be really fun. Like drawing or playing tag with my friends, but everyone's 30 years old now, so it'd be kind of weird to play tag at a park with 30-year-olds. But the thing is, it's like we lose our sense of creativity and curiosity for the world and joy when we get older because, we're stressed out. We tend to not really have much time. And the only time that when we do have time, we use it to sleep or check social media or not be creative. We're more of like a consumer instead of a producer. And so I think it's really important to get back in touch with your inner child. So that could be through playing video games, right? There, you can go back to playing like the games that you used to play when you were a kid, like Mario or Zelda or Halo or whatever that brought you real joy. You really need to dedicate time to doing that. And, it has a lot of therapeutic effects, right? For me, when I was a child, I used to also love going to the park. I love nature. Like, I love nature so much, right? I used to love going into the parks and, playing in the lake, swimming in the lake, checking out the different leaves and throwing rocks into the river, into the water with my friends, stuff like that. And, it's very important to get back in touch with that inner child of yours, right? Like, sit down and you gotta reflect on the stuff that you used to do when you were a kid that made you happy, and start doing it now. And that can make you happier. That can bring back more joy into your life. You become more curious about the world. You start asking questions about things. You start becoming, very inquisitive as a person because you are getting back in touch with that inner kid of yours, right? Like even for me now, like when I play video games, right? I play like different genres of games. Like I play like 2D indie games. I play like really hardcore RPG games, like Neo. You know, when I play those games and stuff like that, right? It's it sparks like curiosity. It's like I want to know about my character, like the skill sets that they have. I like exploration in video games. So when I don't like sandbox games too much because that also sparks my curiosity for the world. Like, you know, games like Skyrim, anything like that. But it really brings me like joy, right? It really brings back like happiness, right? Like, and I highly recommend that everyone should do that to get back in touch with your inner child. So even if you have, like, say if you're married and you have children, right? You know, children, when you look at your kids, a lot of people say that it's like a mirror image of you when you were a child, right? So when you see them play, you should go play with them, right? Like play whatever games that they're playing, or introduce them to the television shows that you used to watch when you were a kid, right? Sit down with them and watch like those shows that you used to watch back in your days. Educate them on the stuff that brought you joy, right? If you're married and you know you want to show your spouse some things that you used to do when you were a kid, maybe you guys could collaborate and do those things together, right? Like drawing, like, or playing video games, right? Or even playing Pokemon cards. Teach your spouse how to play Pokemon cards if that was something that you enjoyed, right? The point is that you should never ever completely take life 100% seriously, because when you do, you really start dreading life. You really start becoming unhappy, you know. And this is a fact, that the happiest moments of our lives are when we were kids. For most of us. For most of us. The most joyful moments, the most wonderful memories that we've had in our lives is when we were children. Because as I said before, we had no responsibilities and we were living in the present moment, right? And we were so curious about everything, right? Like, everything was an adventure. So you got to make your life now an adventure, right? And though it doesn't even have to be like things like that. You could travel, even just traveling to like another country or another town. If you were to just create some sort of spark of adventure in your life by visiting a new place, that can also bring joy and wonderful memories, you know, that you had when you were a child. But the point is, you want to be able to re-spark your curiosity and your creativity, right? That is the most important thing. So you got to be able to do that on a daily basis, and that will honestly just make your life so much better. Like for me, like going into the park, going for walks in the park, playing my video games here and there, collecting like cards, like Pokemon cards. You know, I'm 31 years of age, but I still collect cards. I don't care, right? I don't care what anyone thinks. Like, I still do it, and to me that brings me joy, and that brings me back to the times when I was a kid, right? The simpler times, and it makes my life a lot better, and I don't really need to take life as seriously as I thought I needed to do. So yeah, find that inner child, and there's so many ways that you can do it, right? Use my examples if anything. But anyways, I really appreciate you watching this video. Whether it's I get one view or 2 views or whatever, doesn't matter to me as long as you watched it and I'm happy and you're happy. Thank you.